Hello and welcome back to Realistic Fishkeeping. This is the first in what I hope will be a series of videos focusing on one particular species of fish. Today's video will be focusing on the betta fish, or as it's also known, the Siamese Fighting Fish. These colourful fish that we see for sale in shops today are actually nothing like the fish found in the wild, which are short-finned, much duller versions of the fancy varieties we see today. They have been selectively bred for many years and are now essentially a man-made fish. The wild varieties are found in Southeast Asia in rice paddies with little oxygen. For this reason, they have developed a special breathing organ called a labyrinth, which allows them to breathe air directly from the surface of the water. They were first domesticated in Siam, which is now known as Thailand. Due to their aggressive behaviour to each other, particularly males, fighting the fish became a sport in which bets were placed. This is now illegal in the US, Australia, UK and many other Western countries. Breeding the betta fish is particularly interesting as the male uses his labyrinth organ to blow a nest of bubbles to attract a female. He will also flare up and dance beneath it. If interested, the female will approach and will position herself up under the nest so that the male can wrap himself around her. She will release her eggs while he fertilizes them, and once she stops, he will pick them up in his mouth as they fall and place them into the bubble nest. Whilst this is happening, the female will appear lifeless or in a trance. Once she comes back around, the male will wrap again. She will again release her eggs, and the process will continue until she runs out of eggs. At this point, the female will be chased away by the male. He will now guard the eggs with his life until they hatch. He will pick them up and put them back into the nest, even as baby fish. At this stage, the babies are poor swimmers. After a few days, the babies will be able to swim upright and will soon leave their dad. In recent years, more and more varieties have been produced, with new tail types, colours and even enlarged pectoral fins becoming available. Here are just some of the options available you can buy. The cheapest and most common variety of betta is the Veiltail. It's called a Veiltail because the caudal fin hangs down or trails like a veil. Another variety is the halfmoon. It's called a halfmoon because when it flares, the caudal tail is in the shape of a capital D. To be classed as a halfmoon, the angle from the top of the tail to the bottom of the tail must be 180 degrees. If it's more than 180, it's classed as an over halfmoon. If it's less, it's classed as a super delta. If it's less than 160 degrees, it's classed as a delta. Another option is the crown tail. The crown tail has webbing missing between its rays. This gives the tail the appearance of points on a crown. It is also the dumbo. It's called a dumbo because it's got enlarged pectoral fins. Those are the ones on either side of its head, so they look a little bit like ears. Another variety is the double tail. These are rarely seen, as the gene that causes the caudal fin to split into two also causes spine deformities. Dragon scales are line bred to have thicker scales. Unfortunately, as these fish get older, their eyesight can diminish. These are females. Females have short fins. You can usually keep as many females as you want together. They're usually less aggressive than the males, where the males you would just keep one, you can't keep two together. Some males also have short fins. In English-speaking countries, some people call these pakats. However, in Thailand, all bettas are called pakats, as it translates to biting fish. There are hundreds of different combinations available, and to go into them all would take hours. But a quick Google search will show you just how many there are. In terms of keeping them with other fish in a community tank, they're usually very peaceful. They can be kept with other fish that are peaceful. So in conclusion, the Siamese Fighting Fish is a very peaceful fish until it comes to other males. Males kept together, they're very aggressive towards each other. I wouldn't keep them with anything that would nip. The long fins of the fighting fish, usually anything a similar sort of size and nothing too small would be okay. Obviously nothing too big. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you've got any more suggestions on which fish I could do a focus on, please let me know and I'll do my best. Until next time, bye for now.